Hello and thank you for joining me on my colouring quest. So today, as you can probably tell, I want to colour in Wildflower Folk colouring book. Oh my gosh, who's it by? Christine Karen. I thought it was, but you know when you're like, you know something, but do you really know something? Yeah, so sorry about that. So Wildflower Folk colouring book by Christine Karen, and I haven't done a colour palette challenge in ages, so I went through and I chose this one because I thought it's got like some nice vibrant colours in there, as well as this nice colour here, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to match to a pencil. I think it would be like in the warm grey sort of section, but I'm not sure yet. Haven't looked for my pencils, which was probably a mistake. But I have been wanting to colour in this book since I got it a couple of months ago. And honestly, it scared me because it's such a nice book. But I thought, nope, it's time. And I have chosen the Spring Wind because it is spring, and out of the pages in this book, this one is a little bit less scary for some reason. So that is why I have chosen this page. And I chose the page before I chose the palette. So my only concern was having like an orangey yellow colour for my daffodils. That was the only thing I looked for, and this one like really popped out because of the pinks. So I have chosen that, and I'm going to have to flatten this out a bit. Oh my gosh, I hate doing it. You know, when you get a new book and you have to flatten it out, but you have to do it. Okay, so I flattened it out, and I've decided to go with my Black Widow pencils because I never got much use out of them last month. I can't remember now. Gosh, I sleep and then I forget everything, I swear. And I have gone ahead and picked my colours out. So for this red here, I have deep red, but on here, like, it does look more like the red that we want. And then I have, so this next one, it said it was called Peach, but on here Peach is very much paler than that, and I thought that this looked more like the saddle colour of the Black Widow, so that is what I have here, saddle. Just chucking my pencils away. And next we have that colour which I didn't know if I would be able to find, but the closest I got, I think, is Spiderweb. Like, I kind of wanted this grey slate, but it is far more purple than the image, and it is described as silver. But yeah, so I have this Spiderweb, which isn't that far off. I think it's slightly darker. And then I have my next colour, which was described as hot pink. And as you can see, lots and lots of pinks to choose from, even some on the back. And I went with the pretty pink because it's close enough. So pretty pink, and plus it does look like quite a hot pink. Like, it's not that far off. Next we have the one that they called Raspberry. And this is from the Sarah Renee Clark Colour Cube, if you are wondering. I think everybody knows about that by now. So I picked Blood Diamond because I didn't have a raspberry, but where is it? Blood Diamond is quite close to that, I thought. So Blood Diamond. And then the last one is described as Burgundy, and I just knew the only colour that was going to come close was the Brown Bug. I love that colour. So yeah, that is what I picked for that. It is pretty much spot on, near enough, I think, for a burgundy. So yeah, I'm going to be using the Black Widow pencils. I do realise I picked this palette thinking this was more yellow than what it is, but that's fine. It's a fairy and it's called Spring Wind, and it makes me think of, you know, like Pocahontas, Colours of the Wind. So having things with different colours in each sort of thing isn't going to bother me. I'm just going to have fun with it, and yeah, I'm so happy to finally be working in this book. So I'm going to start with her skin, I think, because it is the main area of this page, and once the skin's done I can sort of see where I want the other colours to be, if that makes sense. Now with all these colour palettes I do allow myself to use black and white, so I am going to just get those out because I completely forgot. So now I am ready to get set and go. And this is kind of scary, colouring in this book. I always put protector sheets behind my pages, even if I'm using pencils. It just stops any, if I accidentally press too hard, it will stop any indentation onto the next page. Plus I find it gives a support to the page you're working on. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's sort of what I found. So yeah, I'm going to start by using this spiderweb, the grey. I know this may sound a bit weird, but I'm going to go into the areas where I want the shadows on her skin. And this may look weird to start with because there is already grayscale there. But I would usually use like purple or something, and this grey is kind of the closest thing to a sort of undertone if it was the purple. So I am following the grayscale already provided on the picture for the most part. In areas I may end up adding a bit more shadow or whatnot, you know, it depends how I feel. But yeah, I'm not pressing down hard because I will be going over the top of this with some other colours. But as this is grey, it is slightly difficult to see where I've already added it. So I am going to have to pay attention because again it is grey, but it is a different tone of grey to what is already down, so that should help. I don't know if that's registering with the camera or not, that it is a different tone. Either that or to you it might just look like I'm doing absolutely nothing to this page. But it's fine. See, I like to have a bit more shadow in this area. Not too much, but I like to add a bit. The weather has really picked up and been a lot better the past couple of days than what it has been, which is really nice. The sun has actually shown its face. But you think we're already most of the way through spring, and like at the end, near the end of June, it's going to start to be summer. And it's like, but we haven't really had much spring yet, so what's summer going to bring us? Because last summer that was really, really wet. like so much rain last summer. See, I don't like to have this whole white outline on the face in all parts. I don't like it being white. Unless there is like a glow added, but I'm not thinking... I haven't even thought about a background, if I'm honest. I want to see how this turns out first. Because like I said, I need to know what sort of colours are going to be where to be able to decide on certain other aspects of the page. See, I like to have a bit of shadow in here. There's a bit here. You know, that line on the nose looks strange to me. Now onto the neck. Now that is darker, but again, I'm just still only lightly doing this. I will still add my darker colours into that area afterwards. And I am the type of person who has to do all the skin all at once, else it ends up looking slightly different in different areas of the skin if I don't do my steps all in order. I don't know about anybody else, but that's me. And then she's got these wings. I probably am going to allow myself to use some sort of glitter or something. I'm not being hugely strict on this colour palette other than the coloured pencils I'm using. Because I still want to make this page how I intend it to be. And this month I'm sort of, like I said before, I never done a poll or anything to pick a page of what to show to colour or anything like that, because it's my birthday month, so I am doing as I please. I pretty much do that anyway, but like I'm giving myself a bit more freedom. I can definitely tell that this grey is on the page. These wings are going to be interesting. Like merging them into the skin may be difficult in places. It's like I've got to put the skin colour in these parts of the wings, but also have the colours of the wings there as well, because as you can see they are transparent. Right, is that the right word? I always get muddled up with transparent and translucent. I think translucent is where you can see a bit through, but not the whole way through. Right? Ugh. I swear, when I was at school, we learned the more difficult things and forgot about all the like basic things. Either that or I was off school that day, you know? Well, my brain obviously didn't think it was important at the time. Right, so now I am going to take that burgundy colour and put it in my darker areas, which is burgundy on the colour palette, but I'm using the brown bug. Oh, I forgot to say, the spider web is from the Black Widow set, as in the actual Black Widow first set called Black Widow. That was a bit confusing. My brown bug is from the Scorpion set. I'll just go through all of them a moment. The deep red is from the Cobra set. The blood diamond is from the Cobra set. The pretty pink is from the Skin set. Skin light, I think the light set. The saddle is from the dragon set. And then I have the black and white, which is Black Widow. They're both from Black Widow, but the black is called Black Widow and the white is called Casper. So yeah, I think you'd really have to have most of the sets to be able to colour along with this. I know a lot of people do already, but I'm sorry if you don't. If you were planning to even colour along, you know. I just say just in case. You never know, do you? Better to share the information and not have people want to follow along than not share the information and have people having to ask when it's easy enough just to like say it. Oh, this is a lovely colour. Ooh, so pretty. So I am going to put this in these deeper areas, bringing it slightly into the lighter areas, but not all the way. Ooh, I feel like this is going to be so pretty if I can get them to blend properly, you know. I am still only using a light pressure. Definitely bringing this into her eye area. And yes, it's not going to look great to start with, you've got to work at it. I love it when you've got unusual colours to make your skin. Like colours I wouldn't normally pick. Put some of it in her ear. I always forget about ears, so luckily she only has the one on show. Now this side seems a lot darker because it seems like the light is coming from this way, from the way that Christine Karen has added the shadows. I do love this book. And it was so hard to get a hold of because I was like, should I do the... It was like a pre-order to start with, wasn't it? And then I was like, no, I'll just wait for it to come out and then I'll get it like in a few weeks. Went back to look at it, completely sold out. And it took forever for it to come back on sale again. And I was like, where's it gone? It is coming back, right? I haven't missed it forever. It wasn't a one print thing, was it? And yeah, so as soon as I saw it back in, I was like, yep. And it came back and it was on offer. I don't know why it would be on offer when it's like so popular. You'd think I was willing to pay full price anyway. Maybe I got it from a different seller? I don't know. I got it on Amazon anyway. I can't remember. Because I do think I saw a few options. But one of them was a ridiculous amount of money. I think that was coming from outside of the UK. Like, I don't know why it suggested me that. And then there was this one. And I was like, okay, why are you cheaper than expected? So yeah. I'm just glad it came back. Right, I'm not going to go any further up there with that. And quite luckily, I only have one other of Christine Karen's books, so I don't have many duplicate pages. I know a lot of people were like, should I get this book because I already have most of the illustrations, but I think the paper would have been worth it anyway. This is, and the presentation of the book, the paper, like I love the front cover. I just think it would be worth it anyway, even if you do have her other books or PDFs. But yeah, you can just tell how much effort's been put into getting this book to be at a standard she wants it. Really like the overlap bit. Just a moment. Okay, all is good. Back to it. I'm going into the neck now, and like I said, the neck had a lot of darker areas, so I'm not going to be afraid to add more of this colour in down here. I will get the black in there in the darkest areas. But yeah. And just bring it out again. You're probably thinking, well, why did I go in with the grey? It just helps me. But like I said, normally I use like a purpley colour or a blue, or in the rare occasion green. So not having any of those colours, the grey was all I could sort of think of using. Plus it helps this red not look too vibrant, or this brown book not look too vibrant, all in the same sort of way. See, that doesn't make sense, does it? Anyway, so far so good. Don't know what colour I'm doing these leafy type bits because I have no green whatsoever. This page is just going to be really pretty and pink, I think. But that's fine by me. I have plenty of other pages to do like the natural colour of things. But like I said, I just wanted a yellowy sort of tone in those daffodils. And this palette sort of jumped out at me. Not literally. It didn't jump out the box or anything. It'd be nice if it did though. There's a lot of shadow on this arm, which I'm not sure about. So I'm kind of just following it for the arm. Right, so now these bits that are in the wings, I'm going to add a tiny bit, very lightly, in those areas where there's a little bit of shadow in. Not much, very lightly. See, that is all I am sort of adding, very lightly. That one is fine because it's not showing the arm underneath. I hope my head wasn't in the frame then. I leaned in quite a lot. Oh well. Right, so after the brown bug, I am going to add, what should I add? I'm going to add that blood diamond. Start with the cheek area. Right, this is quite a reddy pink. I'm just going to add a bit of this in the areas that I want her to be a bit more rosy. I can always go in and add more in other places if I feel like it needs it. This is why you do light layers to start with, because you can always add more. So this sort of eye area I feel needs to be rosy. And don't think that she's going to stay really pink in the skin, because that saddle colour is my main skin colour that I'm going to be using. It will go over a lot of the pink. Obviously you will still get some pink tones to it because they are my undertones, but for the most part I think it will tone down the pinkness of it. I don't know. I think I'd done that too far down. Oh well. I just say oh well and carry on, don't I? If I worry about every mistake, then I'd never complete a page. Most of the time they turn out to a certain degree of acceptance, even when I go wrong. So don't dismiss your pages if you make a mistake. Take Dory's advice and just keep swimming. I do want a bit of this pink in the forehead, over that grey bit where I didn't add the brown bug. Was it brown bug it's called? I swear I'm really bad with these names because they have such strange names to me, some of them. Yeah, it was called brown bug. Yeah, some of the names are just really, really out there. Right, so now I'm going to add a bit of this in the shoulder area on the grey where I didn't add the brown bug, because I like having a bit of pink in the shoulder. Oh, actually I need to add a bit round the mouth area, I think. Bit in this bit of neck. Plus it just looks strange if you don't have any in all these places. A bit in here. Add a bit into the shoulder even though it's more shadowed. I like to make things a little bit even. Add a bit into these gaps. Add a bit very slightly into these wing bits. Again, don't know what colour I'm doing the wings. It will depend on the skin. Everything depends on what colour the skin ends up being. It really does with this one. Just add a bit of that in down here. Right, I added more than that than I thought I was going to. Right, I am now going to take this saddle colour and lightly still, because I'm not finished adding other bits. Yeah, I'm going to go over and hope for the best. It should give it more of a tan. But I like it. She is going to be vibrant, don't get me wrong. I already knew that from the colour choices. But this will give her a slightly more natural skin tone. She's a fairy. She doesn't need to be like human coloured, does she? Don't forget the ear. Don't forget the ear. I already mostly forgot the ear. I'll probably have to add a bit more pink into that ear because there isn't any there. See how much difference one colour, like I didn't add that last pink to that ear and now it looks completely different shade. That is what layers of colours, undertones do to the colours that you put on top of them. That's such a pretty colour. And I do like to leave those little areas of sort of light. I've been trying to do that more often with the more realistic illustrations. I'm not so bothered about like the cartoony type illustrations, but when it's like realistic or more or less realistic, I've been wanting to add like highlighted areas. Didn't add any shadowing around the butterfly up there. I'm just going to take that brown bug a minute, just add a little bit in where the grayscale is and bring it out very slightly, else that's just going to look weird. And now I can carry on. I'm actually loving how this skin tone is working out. These colours are blending very nicely, or layering very nicely on top of each other. I'm just going to give that a sharpen a moment. Don't forget, I've still yet to add my darkest shadows with the black. But I don't like to add black before I've done this step of my skin. For the most part. It depends how serious I am actually about the colouring. But like I said, when it's in a book like this and you're trying to be slightly more realistic than normal, I'm gonna take every step precaution that I normally would think about. I love it. I was thinking about eyeshadow, but I'm thinking her skin looks magical enough and really pretty without having anything else added, so I'm just going to forget about eyeshadow. As you can see, this step does take time and concentration, just because I don't want to accidentally press too hard. And I've completely missed this bit of skin up here, thinking it was part of the butterfly. So I'm going to just get that brown bug and slightly put that in again. But yeah, what was I even thinking? It's because of the antenna. Luckily I never moved on from... That looks weird now. I need a bit of that pinky colour in that area. Go back with that. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know what happened there to make me completely miss a huge part of... a huge part really, wasn't it? do you think? Was that light enough? Like enough light in her face? I like it. I am going to, before I forget, go and put some of this pink into her ear, because it does look really odd that I didn't add any. There we go. Just put a bit more of that on top. Oh yeah, they're much better. To me it's much better anyway. I think she's definitely having pink lips. Right, onto her neck. I'm quite happy that this yellowy colour wasn't too yellow after all, because it's worked out nicely for the skin. At the moment I've been watching everybody's completed pages videos. Oh, so many mermaids, so many beautiful mermaids coloured in May, like so many. But it's really nice to see all the different ways people have coloured them, because I like it as well when people show their buddy colour ones. And it's the same picture and it looks completely different, and you get to see them side by side. See, I don't colour with anybody else. I colour on my own. Well, occasionally my niece, but she's not as interested in it to complete a page anymore. Like, now she's older, she does all different things. She'll like to colour from time to time, but I'm not sure if she completes anything anymore. Which is fine for her, but if it was a buddy colour, then I would have to wait for her to be done to show it. So yeah. This skin tone has definitely worked out much better than originally expected. because I didn't think I was going to get this sort of tone out of these pencil colours. It was only after I had added that pink that I remembered, wait, pink in this colour would definitely make some sort of peachiness. It's like a tan, isn't it? Like, it's like she's got a tan with a pink glow. Which is very fitting for a fairy. I will take this slightly into that wing area, and then whatever colour I use on the wings I will add it in. Yeah, after I've watched some more finished pages videos, I am going to watch some colouring plan videos. I like watching those as well. I like seeing what people are going to do, well, plan to do in a month. I'm not very good at that sort of planning. I try, but it never really works out. What I need to do is in this wing bit, go over those bits that I added to earlier and bring it out. But like I said, whatever colour the wing will be, I will add that colour in there as well, obviously. I need to make it look like it belongs together. Just need to sharpen that again. That's the only thing when you're doing big areas, you've got to sharpen. Go over that bit a bit more. I didn't put any of the pinky colour in that part. Silly me. I really don't know what colour to do the wings, if I'm honest. They'll probably be left till last or something. Right, now I'm going to add the black areas. So basically, right by the hairline, I'm going to want a bit of black. And then here, just under that cheekbone bit, just to bring it out. I want a bit in the corner here. A bit definitely this side because that's a shadowed area more so than the other side. A bit up in this hairline bit. Right, a bit down by this nose, but not too much. I always overdo that bit. I always. Yeah. I like the shape of her face. Bit in the ear. Nostrils. I like the nostrils to have the black. Now I will do like the eyelashes and that when I do the eyes. I'm not doing that now. Bit underneath the nose. Bit underneath the lips. Again, I'll probably focus more on that area when I do her lips. Right, now the neck is going to have the most black in this picture. Just blend that out a bit. Again, that was that deepest, darkest area with the grayscale provided. Bit in this shoulder bit. Yeah. Do want a bit on this shoulder. I don't really want too much here, just a little sliver. Lightly on that bit though. Do I like it? We'll put a little bit more in that eye bit up there a minute. Bit down here. So you can tell where the arm is a bit more than what it was showing, I think. I think that's enough black. I might add a bit more to certain places as I colour the rest of the illustration, but for now I think that is enough. I say that. I always say that's enough and I'm continue adding. Right, that's enough for now. Black has been put down. So now I'm just going to take that hot pink, well, the pretty pink, hot pink in the colour palette, and I'm going to add it more to the cheeks. But this time I'm sort of blending, smoothing out the cheek bit that's already there. I like the pink in her cheeks. And it's mixing a bit with that black. Ooh, lovely. I'm going to then lightly bring that out. It doesn't look like it at the minute, but it will tie in because her lips are going to be pink anyway. On her nose I'm going to blend with the pink. I'm going to put a bit of pink in her forehead, I think. Just where I feel like it, really. I don't really have a, oh, I've got to put it here, I've got to put it there. Blend the dark into the light for that bit. And then I suppose I'll put a bit in her neck, because I do like this pink. This pink is working over time. Right, and now I think all I'm going to do is smooth it all out with my white, and then I think that will be the skin done. I don't think I want to add any bright red to her skin. That, what was it? The deep red. I think I'm happy with the pink. So I'm going to start in the light areas and just smooth this out in little circle motions. Some people don't like using white to do the finishing touches, and that's fine. Some people use the blender pencils. Some people just don't use anything. I like using white. On skin anyway. I either use white or the lightest colour that I've used. But in this case, the lightest colour I've used is a pink, and I don't want everywhere, although it might be the yellow, the saddle colour. But yeah, I want white, because I don't want to lose the colours that I've added. I'm not going to go fully into the wings. I'm not going to go the white over that wing bit yet, because I don't know what colour I'm adding to it. I'm just doing the bits that are definitely. Notice how I started with small circular motions and then got a little bit like impatient. But some areas I find it easier just to go back and forth, whereas other areas I find the circles are easier. So I think it depends what I'm doing. And sharpen. That has actually ended up looking like a really human skin tone, when I was like, no, she's gonna be fairy, definitely not human. That didn't last, did it? But yeah, these pencils are working very nicely, which which is what I need because I don't want to mess it up. I like it when it softens the black. Because I always find I like it when the black is like solid and bold, but then when I go over it and it softens it, I like it even more. Like I could leave it and I'd be happy, but going over it, I'm also happy. I think that's why I like using the white on skin, because it sort of softens the shadows to make them look like more realistic. I'm sorry, I am just trying to get this bit done. But when you're on the face, it's a larger area, and I don't want to forget sort of where I've already gone over. It doesn't matter if you go over an area twice, but I don't want to miss an area. I mean, you can tell sort of where you haven't been, but sometimes it's not as easy when the areas are already light. This is also why I run out of white so fast. May have been too much of a point. Anybody else feeling like it's hard to believe that it's already halfway through the year nearly? Like it's June. It is June. Honestly, feels like 2 minutes ago it was January. I don't know where it's gone. Especially some of the months like really didn't exist. I think it was March for me that was like, did that even happen? Where did it go? Do we get it back? But yeah, this year I have no idea where it is just. Right, I think that is her skin complete. And it did definitely turn out very human skin, didn't it? But yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Did I go over that bit? It still looks a bit liney there. That's fine. Don't want to work at it too much, else then you end up starting to agitate the paper, don't you? Yay! Now I have to decide how to colour other parts of this page. So next I've decided to do the hair, and yeah, I think I'm gonna just go for like pink hair, because I feel like that with these colours that's just the easiest option really. It was either pink or try and make a rosy blonde with that saddle colour, but because I'm going to be using that in the daffodils anyway, so I thought pink hair, why not? So I'll just go on with it, I suppose. So I think I'm going to base set the hair, that is, in the pretty pink. And I have noticed that there is like ribbon or something going through her hair, so I have to remember to not colour that as hair, basically. So I'm just going to go over lightly with this pink. I don't know how dark it will end up. It just depends when I'm colouring, because obviously I don't want the grayscale to look grey. So I will have to go over that with some darker colours, but I do like having grayscale available in hair sometimes, because it just makes it easier to know where to put it. I think that's the place I struggle most with adding shadows, is probably the hair. Oh, and hands. A little bit of grayscale on hands is always welcome. I still don't know if I'm going to add a background to this. It is a new day, by the way. Well, a couple of days have passed. It is now Saturday. And that is the ribbon. This is hair. That is hair. I don't know what colour I'll do that ribbon yet. Like I said, everything on this depends on what colour everything else ends up as. They did name this pencil really, like really correctly, Pretty Pink. It is a pretty pink. Now there's some of her hair showing through this wing, so I'm just going to add a slight layer of that on. Again, still don't know what colour the wings are going to be. But I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of pink on this page anyway. Like her lips are going to be pink. Not sure about eye colour yet. Because, yeah, I don't really... She's a fairy, so it doesn't have to be like a natural eye colour. Even if she wasn't a fairy, she could just be wearing colourful contacts. But, yeah, I'm not sure what colour eyes to do. Quite honestly, the eyelashes probably gonna end up black. Black or a really dark reddish pink. I don't know yet. I honestly don't. Right, let's just carry on with the hair. I don't need to be thinking about other stuff. So I'm now going to take that Blood Diamond as my shadow colour and go into the darker areas. I have to remember as well to do the eyebrows this colour. So I'm basically just going over the grayscale with this. So the lines won't be grey anymore, they'll be pink. I did miss a bit down here, didn't I? We'll also be adding black lines for some of the shadows, so yeah. Was that supposed to be ribbon? I think it's hair. Either way, I'm fine with it being either. tell you what, I always enjoy seeing like pages completed in Christine Karen books. Like, they're always so stunning. I don't know why, but do you find like certain illustrators' work, like, you never see a finished page that doesn't make you go like, wow. Like, their work is just amazing. I'm just going to sharpen this a moment. I always like colouring plaits. They take time, but I like it when they're done. It's like this over here, I didn't put enough in. Like sometimes I start and I'm like a bit cautious about how much to add, and then I'm like, okay, where I started I didn't add enough. But it's alright because you can just go back. And down here I feel like that would be a lot darker than what I did it. I know there are a lot of people out there that like hair is their favourite thing to colour. I don't mind it, but it's not my favourite thing. My favourite thing to colour is skin. Whereas I know a lot of people hate colouring skin, so we all have our different things, don't we? That's why I like to colour people. I mean, the reason I even got into colouring was because I wanted to use colour on people instead of just like grey tones, because I like drawing people. Although I haven't really drawn much since colouring, it kind of took over. I really wish sometimes I could colour faster, but I can't. I would seriously mess up if I tried going faster. So that's why all my videos that are like showing me colouring a page, they're all like long. And I don't cut anything out of them. I prefer to just keep it the way I filmed it, because knowing me, I'd end up one, doing a really bad job at like cutting parts out, and two, I'd end up probably cutting the parts out that people wanted to see, so I don't do it. I'm going to put a bit of this in her wing because, like I said, her hair is showing through. It does take a while, doesn't it? A bit more up here. Got to remember I'm adding black, and then I'll go back in with that pretty pink and white. Let me just take a sip of my drink. And before I forget, actually, first of all, I never done that line there. I want to put this colour in the eyebrows. Just do some lines, sort of thing. I do find eyebrows really difficult. I will add some of that pretty pink in as well, but I need some shadow in. There we go. Right, now I'm going to grab my black to make sure I have a sharp point on that as well. And I realised I didn't put any of the pink in this strand here. So I will do that. I always forget something somewhere along the way. But when I was looking back at it then, I just saw grey lines. And I don't want grey lines. So I'm going to just put this in those darkest areas. Oof, that just flicked somewhere. I have a habit of doing that though. Really do. And this will definitely make the hair more bolder. It's not going everywhere though, it's just where I feel the shadows should be a little bit darker than that pink. Maybe a bit in there. But yeah, if you wanted the softer pink hair, you would not add black as your darkest shadow colour. Well, I wouldn't anyway. I'd probably find a brown. that's enough black. And now I'm going to take my Pretty Pink again and just sort of, oh, and these are sharpened. But there are some places where I don't want it to be as light, but I will still leave some of it light. So you see, now that I've done all those other shadow areas, I can tell for myself where I don't want light to be. Like it was too much of a contrast. And if I accidentally do a place too dark, I just go in with my white Posca and then I can shade over it lightly with a pink again. If I mess up, there are always ways you can fix things. I think I'm going to have to colour this ribbon with that saddle yellowy colour. I feel like that's the only colour that's going to stand out and make it noticeable. Right, so now I'm just going to take my white, and I do need to sharpen that again. Because these Black Widow pencils as well, they are quite soft, aren't they? So I'm just going to blend those lighter areas. Now it's because I'm pressing down quite hard with this white. I'm using quite a lot of it because I just want to smush it together, kind of thing. Did I do that bit? I don't know if I did. So I'll just go over it again. I think I did it already. I do like that. Pink hair, I believe, is done. Oh yeah, I just needed to add some of that into the eyebrows, didn't I? That pink. The pretty pink. I'm not too fussed about the eyebrows if I'm completely honest. For that few strokes of black. that'll do. I like it. Yeah, I will just soften them up like I've softened the hair up with the white. I will soften the eyebrows with the white as well. There we go. And I think I'm going to take a break now because hair just takes it out of you sometimes, doesn't it? So I'll be back. Will only be a split second for you anyway. So now I think I'm going to move on to the lips because I'm sure of what I want to do for those. I am going to do a light base of this deep red just to start off with. I'm going to leave slight areas without any of this red on, but the rest I'm just going to do a light layer. I find it weird that it's now later in the day from when I was doing the hair, but it's actually sunnier outside. Like it's almost 7 o'clock in the evening, I think. And it is literally sunnier than when it was like 12 o'clock. Like 10, no, it was earlier than that, wasn't it? Yeah, about 10, 11 o'clock I was filming the hair. But now it's 6 o'clock in the evening and the weather is sunnier. Explain that to me. But it has gotten to that point of the year where it is now getting darker only at like 9 o'clock at night, rather than when it's winter it gets dark at like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which I do not miss. Don't get me wrong, I like the peaceful evenings, but a peaceful evening shouldn't start in the afternoon. Right, I've added enough of this red, I think. I still want her lips to be more pink than red, but I want a bit of that in there. So I'm now going to go over to that blood diamond colour because it's so pretty that I want to have it in everything. And I'm pretty much just following the grayscale. I do have my ways of colouring lips, but that's normally only if there's no grayscale, so I'm happy to just follow along pretty much with what's already here. And then I'm going to take my pretty pink . I'm now going to take my black and fill in the shadows. And then I want to go back to that deep red again. Just add a bit more of that in. To those darker areas. And then a bit of white on those lightest areas. Just blend that in a bit actually. And that's it, the lips are done. I may actually add, if I can find it. I was using this on another page earlier, because while I took a break from this page, I was actually still did a little bit of colouring on my Camilla de Erico mermaid page. Right, so that is that done, although when that is dry I will go over with the pretty pink because I don't want them to look that white. Right, next up, should I tackle the eyes? I think I will, but I'm still not quite 100% sure on the eyes, so we will see just how they turn out. I'm just going to sharpen my colours a moment. I figure the best bet is probably a golden brown colour, using the brown bug and the saddle. So that's what I'm gonna attempt. So I'm starting with the brown bug on the areas that I want darker, and then I'm going to lightly, just following the grayscale. And I'm going to do both at the same time because, like the skin, if I do one part at a time, I always end up with a slightly different colour that I don't want. I say all the time, but it's most of the sometimes. Sometimes I can do it, it depends where it is. I just like to limit the risk of it happening. So I got that, and then my saddle, you just go over lightly, bringing it out until it's sort of a golden brown. Yeah, with this colour palette, I thought this was my only sort of option for an eye colour, unless I went pink again. And although I'm liking doing pink, I don't want the whole page to be pink. So I'm just going to put a bit of that in the eyeball as well, but only lightly. Right, and then I'm going to take my black and get in on those darker areas. And while I'm at it, I'm going to like outline, do the eyeliner area. And the eyelashes. And I do think I'm just going to colour these larger eyelash parts in black as well. I know they're probably there to make them look pretty and do something nice with them, but I don't think I have the colour palette to do that without them being pink. And I think they would look a bit weird if they were any other colour in the palette as well. I'm just going to do them black. I hope they end up looking okay. Good enough. And a bit black in there. I want a little bit of the pretty pink in her eyeball as well. I'll do both sides while I'm here. I do need to sharpen this black a moment to go over to the other eye. I did just have to check then to see if I was recording, because yeah, I had the strangest feeling that I wasn't. While we do the, oh, that just snapped right there. Now I'm going to take my white and just smush inside the eyeball. Doesn't matter if you pick up a bit of black, because that just adds to the shadow. Now in there. And then I will get my Posca pen. I always like adding light inside the eyeballs with my Posca pen. And then that will be the eyes done. I probably shouldn't have added that last one. But now the ones on the lips are dry, I'm going to get my pretty pink, like I said, and just go over them. It did take off one part of that then. That's okay. I just like them to be more subtle. So now I'll wait for the eye ones to dry and just go over. I just want to get rid of that one really in there, but I'll go over the others with my saddle colour. I might just do that now. It doesn't take long for them to dry. I don't want them gone completely over with. Just a little bit. Like I said, I want that one gone. Because it's not fully dry as well, it's easier to work with. There we go, eyes are done. And I think that was a good choice for colours, if I'm being honest. So now, I don't know what to do next. I don't know whether to go and move on to the daffodils. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I move this up a bit. And that's as far as I can go. So I'm just going to have to tilt that slightly like that if I want to stay zoomed in. I hope that's okay. Alright, so as you might know, daffodils can come in a few different variations, from what I've seen anyway. Like you can get them like where they're bright yellow, or sometimes they're yellow and orange. Then sometimes you get them white with the yellowy orange in the middle, and yeah. So I don't know what variation I'm going to go for, but I know that I'm going to probably just go for a yellowy orangey colour, but obviously I'm going to have to add some pink in there. So yeah, we will see. So to start with, I think I'm just going to do a base of the saddle colour. I mean, I could have gone for the white and yellow variation where it's only yellow in the middle and they're white on the outside. But I don't know, I didn't really want white. So yeah, we will see. It's like, I'm not having green leaves anyway, am I? So, because I can't make a green out of the colours I have. So we will see. Right, so I think I'm going to take the brown bug, right, because I don't know, I feel like this is probably my best option for the shadows before, like, but I'm only going to go in lightly, and then for some other shadows I will probably use that spiderweb grey colour. I am literally following the grayscale because I am really terrible at flowers, so yeah, if by any chance anybody is following along, feel free to not take my advice on colouring flowers. Yeah, I'm not good at it. not at all. I don't know what it is that I struggle with. But they just don't end up looking like how I want them to. Those bits would probably be darker. So I'm going to do the same for this one over here. We will see. Has anybody else already coloured this page? After I've completed it, I'll go and look for other people's. But yeah, Instagram isn't easy anymore to find people's pages, especially new ones. I hate it. I really do. I liked it when you could click on Instagram, click most recent or whatever it was that it said, and you'd see all the new ones, all new pages that people had coloured, and it was lovely. And then they went and had to mess with something that wasn't broken. Why fix something if it's not broken? Or at the very least, if you're going to fix something, don't fix what isn't broken, only fix the parts that need improving. But yeah, companies don't care for the little people. I see a lot of artists moving to a new platform, but I have no intention of having any of a social media like at this point in time. Alright, so I'm going to go with that for a moment. Let's see what I mean, what it needs. I'm going to put my saddle colour on top of this and see what happens. So it just makes a more golden-y colour. This is the sort of colour I think I was going to go for the ribbon in her hair, but I think I definitely will change that. I don't think I need to go in with the grey for shadow in. I think I'll just keep it as this colour. I may add a bit of black shadow in, although I'm not sure. who knows, in fairyland this might be the colour of their daffodils. I can just pretend. I don't really understand how that leaf, the angle of it. I'm just going to take my black. Right, and then my white, I'm just going to do those, smoothing out of those light bits. Every time that air freshener goes off, it reminds me how long I've been filming, and then I'm like, wow, I've been colouring for that long. But yeah, because it doesn't feel like that long, and then I hear it go off again, and I'm like, what? Surely not that amount of time has passed. I think I have it set on every 19 minutes or every 28 minutes. I can't remember what the settings are. But yeah, I think it's 19 minutes or 16, I don't know. I'll just stop because I'm guessing. So I'm going to go on with the white Posca on the edge of this inner bit, see what it looks like. If I think it's too much, like I said, I can just go over it with the pencil I've used to soften it up a bit of, quite like that. This is a bit where I'm like, can't stop myself. I now want to put it on all these lighter edges. So I don't like the grey lines left on something that's supposed to be like soft. But that is a good thing about this. They are grey lines and not white lines. I mean black lines. Oh, what am I even saying? Yeah, they're not black lines. They are like soft grey lines, which definitely make it easier. I think that's enough white pen on that one. So now I'll see how much difference it makes. Add in, wow. So now I just need to do it for the other one. Shouldn't be that difficult, right? Just have to concentrate. I'm not sure if I already mentioned this, but I'm currently watching through Charmed. And I'm watching it on Amazon Prime, even though I have it on DVD, but it's just, sometimes it's just easier to click. While it's on Amazon Prime, I will watch it on there. But I noticed that the theme tune isn't on it. And then I was like, surely by this season it should be on it by now. I can't remember the name of the song, but I always sing along to it, and I was like, why aren't I getting to sing along to it? And I think what did I read? The copyright ran out or something. Like the time that they had to use it ran out. I don't know. Something legal anyway. So now it's just some music with no words. It's the old one, I think. I think that's what they had to start with before they added the actual song. I don't know. But yeah. The licensing agreement ran out. Yeah, I am not good with terms like that, you can tell. But yeah, I was like, no. And obviously, probably because it's not a show that's like as popular anymore, they didn't renew it. Or maybe they couldn't renew it, maybe they didn't want to renew it, I don't know. But they no longer had the rights to use the song, so yeah. But it's still on my DVD, obviously. So yeah, when it's no longer on Amazon Prime, because there will come a day that things get taken off from there, don't they? Then, and if I want to watch it, then I can watch it on my DVD. Which people always find it funny that I still have DVDs. And I'm like, this is a reason. This is literally the reason. You never know when something is going to come and go from like Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus or whatever. So I still have my DVDs. But sometimes, no matter how hard you look, they are not on a movie or Something isn't on any of those platforms. So no, I will not get rid of my DVDs. I mean, I still have videotapes, although I don't actually have anything to watch them on anymore. But I like having them. I don't have many. Like, I kept my favourites, like Sleepy Hollow. That is like one of my all-time favourite films. I still have that, and I still have my Steps Gold, you know, the group Steps. So it has all their music videos on it. And I used to love, and I mean love, that, like watching through that, singing along. God help anybody that actually heard me singing along. But yeah, I can't dance and I can't sing. So yeah, just personal enjoyment, not public. But yeah, you know, when you're a kid, everybody has like that group or something that they listen to all the time and knew all the words to all the songs. But if you played them now, I don't know if I'd remember all the words. I mean, I still listen to Steps because they came back. I have their newest release. And yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I could remember all of the words like I used to anyway. But it's amazing what your brain does remember. Because sometimes like a random older song will come on the radio that you haven't heard for ages, and then you just like, you know it. But yeah, when I was younger, Steps was my group that I listened to, and then I somehow, well, not somehow, it's because of my oldest brother, I started listening to Green Day, because he was listening to Green Day, and obviously if you're in the same house you start listening to the same things. And yeah, that then led me to, on the TV, I mean it's on the radio as well, it was Kerrang. Yeah, and pretty much fell in love with everything they play on there. Near enough everything. I won't say everything because there were certain things where I would turn the channel over, but like most of my music listening was on Kerrang, which nobody believes. Like, you know when people give you a stereotype of, gosh, you look like this so you must like that. Yeah, I don't think anybody thought that I listened to Kerrang, because I didn't have that look about me apparently. So this one's turned out okay as well. Better than I originally anticipated anyway, expected. So I think that's the daffodils done, although I might shadow some of those a bit, go over this. It does look slightly too white, that in a bit, for my liking. Yeah, that's better, I think. So I just need to wait for that one to dry so I can do the same. I don't really want bright white on any of it. So I just gently, so I don't take any of the paint off. But now it doesn't look as harsh, does it? Oh, I'm loving all the completed pages videos. No matter how many times I say it, people keep coming out with new ones. And yeah, I'm just like, ooh. So I think not long ago I had a notification of somebody's being posted, and I was like, let me first film a bit of this and then I'll go and watch it. Because yeah, I find it really enjoyable to watch them and colour at the same time. Although I do find with those, with finished pages videos, I don't get as much colouring done because I like seeing all the pages, and sometimes the videos are fast, so you've got to pay attention. And I do like how those daffodils have turned out. What do you think? Obviously not the traditional colour, but I like them. So I've decided I'm going to do this head accessory next, and I think I'm going to actually do it a similar colour to what I've just done the daffodils, like a goldy sort of colour. So I'm literally just going to do what I just did, taking my brown bug into those shadowed areas, and then I think I will give it a pink jewel. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go for anyway. I'm just going to go over the antenna with the brown bug. And my saddle, go over it. I will be adding some white shine in with my Posca pen. I just wanted to make sure I could blend those two colours together. Black. Need a bit of a sharper point on that, I think. May have gone too far with that. Very gently is what I need to do. Going into those shadow areas. Right, and what I think I'm going to do is take the deep red and go in on these jewelly bits. And then I will add some Posca in there. I have to add in a bit more black. Because I haven't used that red a lot. So now my Posca pen is coming out once again. I think I need some light on this. I have to be careful though because the nib is quite big. I think that's enough. I may go over it with that saddle colour after it's dry a bit. I don't quite like that. I kind of want to do little dots on the end of the antenna. I don't know about you, but I think ever since I've been a child, like if you draw butterfly antennas, I do a sort of dot at the end. Yeah, how's that looking? Oh gosh, I'm getting the sun come from somewhere. Is that better? Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know how that affected you, but it was shining right onto my phone, so sorry if that affected in any way. But yeah, I'm really liking how this is turning out. Really quite happy with it. Where have I? Oh, there. Couldn't see where I put the saddle colour. Is it just over to stop them being too white? I know it's ridiculous using a white Posca and then not wanting it to be white, but any other colour that I have in the Posca pens would have been far too much of those colours, and with the white I can simply dull it down a bit, which is why I tend to use the white instead of the other colours. So yeah, I think that colour goes quite nicely with her. So now I've got to think, I'm still thinking what colour to do those plant bits. I need to straighten this back up again. I'm just going to pause. Still can't decide on the plant sort of colour, so I've decided that this ribbon is going to be using that deep red, because like I said, I haven't used that much on this page, and I know I don't want bright red plant sort of things, so yeah, red ribbons makes sense to me. So I'm just going to go over to start with a light layer of it, as I do and I know this may go in with the hair a bit, but as you're going to see on the lips it does stand out against the pink, so I should be able to see like it running through her hair. Yeah, just going over all of these all at the same time. It's just what I'm like. I have to do all the bits. Plus, not only to get them all the same, but I find that if I do them separately, and I found it quite difficult to do the first one, it puts me off doing the rest of it. But if I already have it started like I'm doing now, then it's like one less step to worry about. It's like when I did the daffodils, I started off quite doing both at the same time, but then when I realised that I could do the other steps separately, I changed. So I'm now getting the brown bug again for the shadows. This brown bug has been like a lifesaver in this palette. But there's always one colour that gets used most in these palette challenges. Normally the colour I pick for shadows, because using the same sort of colour for your shadows, it helps to like whatchamacallit, oh what's the word, make the illustration look cohesive, like it all goes together. It's like the same highlight colour does that as well. Like if you've got a blue light going on, then you need to sort of put that blue in all the details what that light would hit. So it makes sense that a shadow would have the same sort of colouring as well. It's nice to see how much difference using the same shadow colour but with a different colour as the main can change but still look the same. Right, and now I'm just going to go back in with my deep red and blend those colours out. Oh, that is so pretty. It's very bright though. I might have to get the white on it in places. But I have to be careful when using white on red because red and white make pink. I will be adding in some black shadowing as well though, so that should help a little bit. But yeah, oh, that looks so pretty. bright red is actually starting to grow on me the more of it I do. But yeah, I still have to blend the lighter parts together with the white anyway, so we'll see what it looks like, and I can always go back over with the red if it turns a bit too pink. So pretty. Whenever I see a red ribbon and like a hair though, you sort of think of Matilda, don't you? Was that red? It was red, wasn't it? I hate my brain when I say something and then my brain just questions everything I've just said. It was red, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, because else that will bug me. I couldn't help myself. I looked it up and it is red. Whew. I think in the film she may have had a blue one as well, which is probably what confused me. Because I did see a photo of her with a blue one, but the main one was red. So I can rest assure my brain. But yeah, why does my brain question it? I may add a few dots of white Posca in this ribbon because I want it to look shiny a little bit, not too much. So I don't want to do lines, I just want to add a few dots here and there. And then I'll probably go over them lightly with my red. I think the nib on my white Posca pen is starting to go. I have used it a lot. Surely you can tell by now how much I use a white Posca pen, and I only use one at a time. I have plenty of other ones, but I only use the one. Yeah, so that is, I think, the ribbon done. I just, like I said, go over softly. Because the weather's warm today, it's not taking long for them to dry. I don't want to rush it. So I sort of go in the order that I put it down and hope for the best. Very, very gently. There we go. Like, you can tell there's dots there and they're white, but they're not like bright white. Right, so I think I've decided on the plant colour. I say this because I don't think any combination is going to look right to me because there's no green. But I am going to attempt. So I've got the grey, the spider web, and I'm going to add a bit of the saddle, the black and the white, and then no brown bug. I've decided against the brown bug for this, just to make it look like a different colour. And I will probably be using the pretty pink. I don't know. I haven't decided yet between the pretty pink or the blood diamond. But I think it's going to be the pretty pink as a slight colour in it. But yeah, I'm going to go all over with the saddle, but very, very lightly, because I don't want it to be the same sort of colour as the daffodils, but I figured since it's to do with the daffodils, having some of this colour in will probably be the best idea. But considering how the rest of the illustration, I could sort of make that skin tone, which made it look more realistic, but then now the flowers do not. It's a bit meh, a bit off-putting to me, a bit scary, should I say. Like, how is it going to look? Is this going to ruin the whole page? I hope not. Right, so I've got my spider web. Yes, it was called spider web. And I'm just going to start up here. I think this spider web is going to be used within the wings as well, because I haven't used much of it either. And it is a colour palette challenge, so you have to use all the colours provided to you. Although I did use it in the skin, didn't I? So spiderweb isn't a problem, really. Yeah, oof. This is a bit nerve-wracking. Figured grey is probably the least likely colour to make me hate this, because I would really hate to like ruin this now, like at the last hurdle sort of thing. My brain keeps wanting to add glitter to the wings, but I'm trying to refrain and stick to the colour palette only. Right, I think that's enough grey. Pretty pink. I can always add a different colour if I don't think this is the right one. Just a soft touch of it, and then I might add a soft touch more of the saddle colour over the top. Yeah, hopefully this won't look too awful. At this point I'm still showing you the video, even if it is awful, because I love how everything else has turned out. So yeah, I'm not going to put all this effort in and then not share it, if that makes sense. think it's okay. What do you think? Before I put the saddle colour back in, I am going to add a bit of black and then I'll blend it all out with the saddle. And one can only hope that this works. Breathe in, breathe out. Did go out with the blinds then, so I just have a rubber here. I'm just going to and go back over that because I got rid of too much. This is a bit nerve-wracking, I will say that again. So saddle, into the pink. And then I will add the white to blend it out. I don't think I could ask for any better outcome, in my opinion, with the colours that I have in this palette. What would you have chosen? Would you have chosen different colours? Or do you think I made an okay choice? They go, I can tell that they go with the daffodils, but they're still not the daffodil colour, which is all I wanted. So I think I'm happy with how it's turned out. And then the white just over those lighter bits again. See, once I start colouring it, it doesn't take as long, does it? I procrastinate. But unlike the daffodils, I'm not adding any white Posca to these leaves. I think it would distract from the daffodils. So what do you think? I think I'm happy with that. Like, oh my gosh. So now I just have the wings left. And like I said, I'm going to use the spider web, and I think a bit of that deep red. So I'm going to shadow with the spider web, you know, on those areas where the skin sort of came through as well. And then I think I am going to white Posca. What do you think? White Posca the lines away? With something like wings, like fairy wings, you do like to do that, don't you? I know I do anyway. Just have those wings sort of look slightly more magical. And this side, just add my grey first. I am, as you can see, adding it on these sort of inner bits. Now I have that deep red. Scary parts again. I don't know if I want to add it to all of it. I think very light layer of it over the wings, and then I think I might just get the white and sort of make them light. So obviously when you put the white Posca over the lines, that will drastically change what they look like anyway. So you need a little bit of colour in the wings so it doesn't just blend into the paper colour. I know this paper is slightly off-white, but yeah. That's why I think as well that when I put the white Posca on, it looks even whiter because the paper isn't completely white. But it is a lovely paper, this. Like anybody that's got this book will know that. This is lovely, lovely paper. Right, so I'm just going to get my white and start going over the whole of the wings, even the bits that have got the like hair colour and skin colour on. Just going to go over the lot. And then it will just be white Posca and then I will be done. I was at one point thinking of golden wings, but as soon as I'd done the gold on the butterfly, the gold on the eyes, the gold in the daffodils, I was like, yeah, wings can be pink. I feel like that bit of skin needs a bit of white on it. I need to sharpen this. You can tell when it needs sharpening because it gets harder to use. No, that's feels much easier. You probably can't even tell on camera that I'm even doing anything, but I can tell. Oh, now just this side. Can't believe it. Just white outlines to go. I will be going over all of the lines for the wings. What I will not go over though is the lines like for the arms and that underneath. Like here you can see where the arm ends. I won't go over those lines. I think they need to be there. One side done. That bit needs a bit more. can't believe it. I'm actually finished and super duper proud. So I will zoom out a moment. And this is her complete. Right, I don't think I could have done a better job with that palette, if I'm honest. Unless I'd like changed the hair to red and the ribbon to pink, but yeah, I think I chose the right combination for me. Yeah, I'm not sure how I would have done it differently. So yeah, thank you for watching as I coloured the Spring Wind page from this beautiful, beautiful book by Christine Karen. It is the Wildflower folk colouring book. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Sorry, I can't help myself. Like, I am really proud of that. Like, just the skin, the fact that I was able to get that tone of skin from the pencils that I had, I didn't think I would be able to. So yeah, like I said, thank you for watching. I'm not sure what the next video will be, but until then, take care, happy colouring, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye!